the impact of these supernatural events. While they are there, they are amazed at what's going on. They are drawn to this place where the apostles are, where the 120 are gathered there. And they're wondering, what is it that's going on that we can hear these men and women speaking in different languages, and some are even languages that we can identify, praising God in another language, a language that is different from theirs, because the question was, aren't these Galileans? But yet we hear them speak our language. There's no way that they should be familiar with our language, but they are speaking this way. The third part of this context is that Peter provides a response to the amazed crowds by preaching Jesus resurrected. He lets them know that this same Jesus who was crucified has now been raised from the dead. He's alive. He's well. God raised him on purpose. It was not in God's design that Jesus would be defeated by death, but he rose even before his body began to deteriorate in that grave. He rose on the third day, just like it was promised. Jesus is also depicted by Peter in this chapter as the Holy Spirit baptizer, because when they asked the question about the group that had received the Holy Spirit being drunk with new wine, Peter let them know that it's because of Jesus that we have the Spirit today. It is because of what Jesus did in going back to the Father and sending the Holy Spirit is the reason we have the Holy Spirit today. He's the Holy Spirit baptizer. And this should not have been a new statement to that audience, because John the Baptist had been saying that same thing, that I baptize you with water, but the one coming after you shall baptize, coming after me shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit. He's the baptizer. He's the one that has poured out this Spirit. He's the one that makes it possible for us to be a recipient of this grace of God by which we're baptized with the Holy Spirit. Also, immediately following or before the giving of the verse 38 and 39, Peter adds that this same Jesus is now both Lord and Christ. Lord, he's the one with authority. He's the one with power. He is now Lord. Only as a result of his resurrection, he's been exalted. He's been empowered. In fact, Jesus said for himself in Matthew 28, all power has been given unto me in heaven and in earth. All power. I got the keys over hell and the grave. He is Lord, the one with authority, the one with power, the one with the ability to do what no one else can do. He is now both Lord and Messiah, both Lord and the expected one, both Lord and the one who rules with the mighty hand of God. When I think about this, there's a lot going on in this chapter that we can be thankful for. There's a lot going on in this chapter that we can appreciate. The fact that the Spirit has been poured out. The fact that there's a supernatural move of God that takes place in this chapter. The fact that the crowds are affected by it. The fact that we have a pronouncement that Jesus is risen. We have the pronouncement that Jesus is the Holy Spirit baptizer. We have the pronouncement that Jesus is both Lord and Christ. What a powerful thing to understand about what God is doing today. Well, as we focus in on verse 38 and 39, in verse 37, there is a